you have to be careful who you do. Find someone who has a good reputation, and if it doesn't feel like it's
Thank you.
working, then don't go back for more. Oh, it's more complicated than we thought. Oh, it's going to take me 8 hours of meditation. I've heard this
Right.
before, and it's sad that people would take advantage of someone who's in pain uh,
Hmm.
by doing that. And some people, I just one fellow, he'd talk to different people, and he'd try to assess how much money you had, and however much money you had is how much it's going to cost to get rid of this curse. So
Jesus.
it's a bad thing. Um, but so just be
Sad.
aware of who you're going to. I mean, there's tons of very good healers in that, and I
Thank
want to encourage them
you.
and help them to be even greater. But yeah, so Erica, the entities are no longer bugging you. Let's just raise your vibration so you're free of that.
Well, spirit
Yeah,
imposter, like a spirit
good.
guide imposter, because he kept on
Right,
telling these Reiki masters and stuff that wasn't true about me. And I'm like, what is happening? And she said, you
right.
have a imposter spirit guide, and I didn't know how to get rid of them.
Well, these guys are gone now, and I just raised your vibration. So, well, how do you feel? That's the ultimate test.
So, well, I feel very anxious about this. But wow, I'm
Well,
feeling a
that was
lot in
then.
my
That was then.
chest and my
This is
stomach
now.
right now.
Yeah, that's the point. That was then. Don't go looking backward. This is a problem that a lot
Listen,
of people have. Well, every time, and there was a Russian scientist that I worked on one time, and he had been cursed, and I cleared the curse. And he says, "Yeah, but every time I get close to it, I said, that was then, this is now. Before you were cursed, yes, you're going to have problems. Today, you don't have a problem anymore. So don't look back. Yeah, but every time, and I had to beat it
Yeah.
into his head over and over. Look, that was then, this is now. So it's a similar thing, Erica. The the nervousness, the tenseness. Yeah, you made a mistake. Whoever thought they could help you couldn't help you. But that was then, this is now. Now you just got some help. There's
thank you
nothing
so much.
blocking you. Yeah.
How are you feeling now, Erica, or what's going on as these are lifted out?
And there's this energy in my torso, my solar plexus going on. It's really intense.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm
Yeah.
just going to fill your solar plexus, your power center down there with energy, positive energy. There's nothing you have to worry about. And this is it. People like you are very, very strong-willed. If you put your mind, wait a second, there's a problem, then sure enough, you will have a problem. But if you point your mind in the right direction, then there is no more problem. And you have the abundant, beautiful, loving life that you wanted. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Erica. We'll let that energy keep rising. I love that. I want to get to a couple questions on the Q&A. If we could just everyone stay muted, or if you have been unmuted, thanks a lot. Let me double check here. Sorry, guys, taking time. We got a bunch of people. I know a lot of folks want to get some time here. Sorry, Pam, I'm gonna have to mute you. I want to get to some questions, and we are going to be going to some of the process today for everybody. We had, gosh, probably 100 questions come in, or comments and different things. So I want to get to some of that. And I want to say, like, whatever you are doing with your body, if you're undergoing like a disease state, continue seeking medical care. Do the spiritual work, but do the medical work, and keep this holistic balance. Because we got a lot of people, questioning that. And I would say, like, I would never tell you don't go do that. I would say do both and astound people with what you are able to shift into. Let me get to some of the questions here. This is Tracy. She says, most of the time, Ed, the emotions that I feel are not even mine. This is Tracy
Mhm.
M. I breathe through it and I try to shift the energy, but is there any way to not feel this or feel other people's stuff? Now, I don't know if this is other people's stuff or something is infiltrating her. What's going on with
Right.
Tracy M?
Yeah. Yeah. There's not entities that are deliberately there, but this is common with empaths. You go to the supermarket and you have a
Implants. Oh, empaths.
empaths,
Okay.
people that
Yeah.
are
If you
empathic.
could hold your thing a little, I know you're probably your arms getting tired, but
Okay. No, no, it's okay. If it makes it sound better, that's what I'll do. Yeah, there are people,
yeah.
and I used to be like this, not to the extent of, there are many people way more empathic than I am, But I would remember going when I was first waking up, saying, "Oh, look at this! There's going to be this spiritual fair." And so I go to the spiritual fair and I just walk down one of the aisles looking at all these crystals and different things and
Mm,
people and healers and psychics. And I would feel weighed down. And so I would duck behind a curtain. And the only way I knew to clear myself, it took a while. It would take me a few minutes to clear myself. Then I go walk down the next aisle. And again, I'd feel like I weighed 100 pounds because I'm taking
yep.
on everyone else's
Yep.
problems. And that's what you're doing, Tracy. So one of the things you have to try to do is to be detached. It doesn't mean you don't care about these people. You can send them love and energy, but if you're shopping at the supermarket, it's not your job to take on everyone else's problems. So try to just don't do that. If it's a family member, then it's a lot harder. If you have a baby that's sick, of course, you're going to try to pull any negativity out of the baby and try to help your family member. So it's understandable. But again, if it's not someone that's, or if you're getting paid to do it, that's another thing. Maybe you do it. Don't take on other people's burdens
Mm.
and just use any clearing technique you have and just put the intention out there. I'm not going to take on other people's burdens. That's their issue to handle. That's not my job.
I agree. We're getting a question. I want to do the live process so we have enough time. We probably gonna need about 7 to 8 minutes, but something is coming up a lot. Black magic and curses are coming up. And again, are these things real? Some people say, it's all your imagination, but is it actually a real thing?
Right. No, it's absolutely a real thing. And black magic is just a way that these negatively oriented people or beings use to invoke curses.
Yep.
Now, we just came across a holiday, Halloween, which back in the days when I had my Sophie guiding me and I was looking forward to Halloween to go to all these parties. And she's like, no, you're in a tender state right now where you're waking up and that you don't need to be out there. It's a
Right.
holiday that emboldens all the negative. It's all about death and scares and fear and everything like that. So we just came across, we just passed over this holiday, which is not a positive holiday. Your kids are trick or treating and you think, oh, it's so nice, but they're being exposed to all this negative energy and it emboldens entities. So for a few days, things got worse because they get emboldened. This is their holiday. This is not Christmas or a positive, uplifting holiday. This is one that's meant for them to scare people. So we just passed that. But yeah, black magic is real. It's like anything. Every single thought you have is you're invoking the universe to make your wish come true. So you can use it for positive things or for negative things.
Yeah.
If you use it for negative things, and they have specific rituals where they'll get three of these evil magicians, put them together, and they'll call in entities or some demon to harm someone. It's a common thing. There are some cities, like in Ankara, Turkey, a client who lived there, she said, yeah, you can just go down to the bad part of town
Right.
and you pay them, they'll curse whoever. Your ex-husband, you don't like him, they'll just curse him for you for whatever the fee is.
Man, I want to ask you about some of the signs of these curses, but I want to get to the process. Give me 2 signs of a curse if somebody feels like that could be going on. I have, I tell you, I mean, I have an evil eye behind my head, way above at the ceiling level. Ultimately, and a lot of different, energy, Christ energy, because I'm on the internet. People are seeing me, and oh, I don't like his eyes. I don't like his ears. I don't like his, nose. I'm gonna curse that guy. So, I just think. But what are some signs? But I mean,
Well, the most obvious sign is when nothing seems to be working out. And that was my case. At like 45, I made a list of them one time. Some were tiny little things, other was big projects that I was waiting to get funding for or that, and they just would never come to pass. And that's when I realized I was cursed. So that's the most obvious thing. But it doesn't mean it's automatically a curse. You can be doing a lot of other things that are making your life more difficult, and one of them is having that negative thought. And the worst is if you were cursed in the past and you have this, oh no, I'm always going to have to struggle. Oh no, the universe doesn't want me to succeed. The universe is not a safe place. These are ideas that are based on your life that you had when you were cursed, or just the hardship that you had to go through in your life. And so you have to get rid of those ideas. And we can do that. But then once we get rid of them, You have to not go back and start thinking about the old problems that you used to have. It's simple to get rid of these ideas. You just take them out in a matter of minutes. But then again, from that moment forward, always you got to keep in mind the universe is conspiring to make all my dreams come true. And it's not, if you go back, you'll recreate that belief system that caused you the trouble in the first place.
And this is the thing I know that you are very big on, and we are going to get to live process, guys. That this is the unifying. We're gonna thread the needle, right? We're gonna thread the needle, which means we're gonna take the thread all the way through the needle so you understand this. This is the biggest thing that Edwin tells me is like, I want people to raise their consciousness because I'm not here to just clear again and again, like a lot of people. He wants your consciousness raised. So at that level of awareness and awakening, you're not affected anymore by these things. And that's ultimately what the Lemurians were trying to do. And they were in that state. They just didn't realize that these infiltrator beings were going to do that. But now we have like another swing at the bat, another swing at the ball. And here we are. So we're going to be talking about what Edwin is doing to lift our consciousness to that state of that ancient wisdom that got passed all the way through to ancient Egypt, but also we're going to talk about how to actually embody that. But right now, we're going to start one of the first steps that Edwin wanted to share with everybody. And this is a quantum process. So you can actually feel maybe what quantum abundance might look like in your life, what it might feel like in your reality. And maybe, Edwin, I don't know, but if they start feeling some of that true quantum abundance, they might activate some DNA or some remembrance of what it was like to be in complete harmony with everything.
Right. I mean, you want to be in the vibration that you want to attract. If you're living in scarcity, and it's hard to do that. If you're thinking back to the time when you were broke and couldn't afford to go to the movies, then you're going to recreate that experience.
And yeah, and you encode, your brain synapses, and you actually strengthen the DNA cellular memory of all the lifetimes of torment, suffering, and scarcity, versus turning on that 97% junk DNA that is not junk, that is our higher consciousness, actually tied to higher chakras, that are dimensional portals to what these ancients knew, to what the Lemurians and others knew. So yeah, we're gonna focus on that opening for you guys today, and Edwin's gonna hold a space where it can come in easier, because most of the time we're so constricted by negative energy that we can't lift the vibration. So Ed, yeah, man, whenever you're ready, let's do it. I'll pipe down. Sorry, I'm excited today.
No. Well, we'll lift the vibration. So I'm going to use the super fast technique to raise everyone's vibration right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll just count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,000. 10,000. 1, 2, 3 here. There's a bunch of them at the 10 to 100,000 level, which is fourth to fifth density. A lot of entities interfering with the people. So we're just going to get rid of them. I have my spiritual team, which multiplies my efforts, which instead of me having to do action to each person individually, they will do whatever I can do for me. So let's get rid of all those entities between the 10,000 and 100,000 level. Count up again, 10,000, 100,000, million. There are some at this level. Million is sixth density. These are high level and negative entities that are affecting you, which they maybe a couple of years ago they weren't around because most humans weren't at this level. I hear, yeah, but, no buts. Just get rid of them. We'll keep counting up. Okay, I don't find any higher level ones after the million level. Sixth density is the highest, at least in this group of people listening to the replay. Okay, so everything's always easier when you're at a higher level. Now, I'm going to take advantage of one of the principles that's in the book, the Kybalion, the principle of polarity. And that says that everything has its opposite. So if you take temperature, you have cold temperature, you have hot temperature. There's no place where cold ends and hot begins. They're both of the same vibration, but different in intensity. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on abundance. So for the abundance, that's the polarity. It goes from extreme scarcity to unlimited abundance. And the whole objective here is to go to the polarity that's closer to unlimited abundance. And this has been made easier because everyone's at a much higher level now. Everything happens more easily the higher your vibration. So now to get from the scarcity to the unlimited abundance thing, just visualize exactly what it would be like to have this unlimited abundance. Think back to a time when you did have the abundance, when you had everything you needed when you needed it. Don't go back thinking about problems you used to have. That was then, this is now. We're just going to move back. The only reason we'd ever look back is because we're looking at a time when everything was great. And if you don't have one that comes to mind easily, then just think of what it would look like right now. If you want to go visit Europe or to Tibet, wherever you want to go, just visualize yourself there. You need a new house because your existing house is whatever, too small for you. The family's growing. You want a bigger house. Visualize exactly what that looks like. And like the teachings of Lakshmi, you want to do something that brings you joy and fulfillment as well as financial rewards. So as long as you're doing something that brings you joy and fulfillment and you're helping other people, then you'll be financially rewarded. It won't even be work. It'll be something that brings you joy and happiness. And the ultimate abundance is self-realization, being in this high consciousness. So because I'm in Hawaii, I'm going to add a little wrinkle here. I'm going to ask the Lemurian energies that are still here in Hawaii to come through to give everyone an extra blessing. Absolute, unconditional, infinite, divine love. Okay, yeah, everyone is flying high. And again, you're visualizing that abundant life that you want, that you deserve, that you're experiencing right now. Okay, feel what this is like. Try to use all your senses. See what it looks like. Maybe it's your new house that you're looking at. Smell what it's like. Maybe you're on the ocean and you feel the salty air. Taste it. If you're got to eat a beautiful chocolate croissant because you wanted to live in Paris, smell it. Maybe you're a beautiful flower farm or there's wildflowers, but mostly feel it. Feel what it's like where you have every need is met. You have even a surplus so you can help your family and those in need or those that can help guide them to exactly this state as well. And now using all those senses, all your objective senses and your inner senses combined, lock in this feeling, lock in this abundant mindset, knowing whatever you need will automatically show up in your life. Okay, I'm going to take everyone back down into their body again, but I want you to keep one foot in this higher consciousness world. You want to be in this world, but not of it. In other words, you want to be in this physical world. You still have a physical body, but you're taking your direction from the higher world, the one that we're moving towards. Okay, and let's just decree, and so it is.
Oh, all right, everyone. Edwin, you can rest your hand. I know holding it up there is probably getting you tired.
Okay.
We'll let everybody share kind of what's going on. So it'll be a couple minutes of some stories and things happening here from each of you. If you feel called to share, I'll start first. This was amazing. As you were saying this, like I was just plugging into unlimited abundance, not money, but just the experience of living, the connection to all things, the immortality consciousness, the higher wisdom, kind of like the resurrection of our true nature and the reactivation of that DNA of like, for me, unlimited abundance was my 97% DNA that just is offline, like getting online and creating heaven on earth. And it just felt like I could feel all of this energy just tingling and activating. It was almost like an emerald. I felt like an emerald flame kind of going around in my heart chakra. And it's just really, really powerful. For me, my definition of abundance was like just total reclamation of my essence and being so at a high level that anything I wanted would just materially come into being. So it just was really awesome, man. I could feel that. And I want to hear from all of you. What's going on? I'm buzzing. And to be honest with you, I've been activated since we've had our discussion. I've been just like, this has started just immediately. And with you being in Hawaii, yeah, just amazing. Let us know what y'all are feeling. And did you feel some of the Hawaiian energies come in? Because Edwin is live in Hawaii, which again the like the risen Lemuria. That's what a lot of people believe, is that it rose up from the ashes and from the earth's crust and is in Hawaii, which is where we are at. We got a lot here, lots of expansion. All right, I gotta let them come in. I can't even read them. They're so hard to like, I can't keep up. Too fast. Okay. I was feeling so sad for the last 2 days. Now I'm feeling hopeful and excited for new possibilities, and I am vibing really high. You're feeling this Lemurian energy and a lot of this ancient energy. This is our birthright, guys. Wow. Okay, we got another person writing in here. I feel lots of expansion and love, says Neolani. Wow, feel good vibes again. No more blocks. Thank you very much, says Erica. Oh, I'm feeling so much Atlantean energy. Really good. Another person, I felt a fluttering of my heart area and solar plexus. I feel that's kind of this emerald energy point that we're talking about. I felt warm, tingling energy in my arms and legs, which got stronger in the process. I went on and I feel it now. I feel joyful. Thank you. This is Heather. Yeah, amazing. I can breathe better. Wow, some interesting things going on. Let me know what y'all are feeling. Yawning. I have watery eyes. Beautiful feeling. Wow. Just keep sharing with us what's going on. What are you feeling as we kind of dive in more and more to these energies and what's going on? And Ed, I want to ask you a little bit about what you've been doing, but also want to talk a little bit about a few other areas that we didn't get to that came in on the chat. A lot of people have been asking about implants. I feel like a flowing inside of my body. Exactly. That is the immortal flame. That is the immortal energy of this wisdom starting to rise in Linda. And that is amazing. This is what we we're talking about. But implants came up a lot. AI came up a lot. And there's some people saying, what about AI? What about implants? What about kind of all that stuff? What do you see there?
Right. AI used to be a bigger problem, even though it's becoming more and more advanced every week. Elon Musk is announcing a new breakthrough in his Grok AI program or ChatGPT. They're all advancing. But the AI that I had to deal with in the past was kind of a hybrid AI with these non-physical entities that were partly technology based. And for the most part, those guys are gone. So I don't see a big problem like that. And just a few years ago, I would see people, they'd even come through their electrical grid and affecting them. So the team and other higher beings are pretty much stifling that. I don't know what the answer is going to be with this AI, and if it ever would become self-aware, like in the Terminator movie, that sort of thing. I don't know that it's going to happen. I think we're going to move up to a higher level before something like that ever does affect humanity, if it
What,
does.
what about things like implants?
Implants are, I mean, there's occasionally you have implants. Uh, when I clear people, I automatically just include implants in that. Curses, hexes, spells, implants. Just lump them all together and take them out. So I don't, no one should have an implant in them right now. It should all be gone.
Okay. So we're gonna talk more about this and what Edwin is doing right now to help clear a lot of this energy. Rebecca said, "I feel lightened and higher in elevation, along with the feeling that my dreams are closer than ever." I love that.
Perfect.
So I want to talk about one of the things that you're working on, and you brought forward for us one of the things with Edwin that we've been diving into. And Edwin and I had some of this vision over the summer, a good many months ago. And it was all about how do we tap people into this energy and this wisdom that the Atlanteans had, the Lemurians had first, the original energy of the Earth Mother Mu, and then ultimately what moved into ancient Egypt. And it's these keys to infinity. And when this came out and when this topic came forward, I mean, it was like the vibrational spectrum just like blew wide open. Because as many of you know, Ed's been helping and keeping us in a high vibration for a very long time on the front lines. And as we started diving into these keys of infinity, well, one of the things that started happening was we started actually feeling like the embodiment of these energies. So this is something that is all new for our season, and it's called the Keys to Infinity with Edwin Spina, and it's all about a quantum abundance reset. There's a lot of Lemurian energy. There's a lot of like ancient sort of initiate energy in this. There's a lot of wisdom that's been lost by humanity. And Edwin, you've been on the front lines of kind of keeping these energies at bay as you've taken out huge segments of the dark energies. So I find it to be very fitting that you also would bring people in to the energetic embodiment of this ancient wisdom. And that's what we have here at uwealthrevolution.com/Edwin30. So Edwin, you want to tell us a little bit about this? And also we'll talk about how they can get some help from you directly as well.
Right. Well, the keys to infinity is talking about you becoming an infinite being, you becoming an ascended master. And it goes back to the ancient mystic principles. That's what I'm focused on. And I was inspired by the book, The Kybalion, which is a fascinating book written back in 1912 by three initiates. And the identity of the three initiates is a semi-secret, although I know two of the initiates. One was William Walker Atkinson, who he had his own Yogi Publication Society. The second one was Paul Foster Case, who's a highly esteemed mystic. And the third one is reputed to be Spencer Lewis, who founded the Rosicrucian Order in North America back in 1908. So these three initiates are borrowing the teachings of both the Atlantean, the Emerald Tablets, and they're putting them into a more modern 1912 format. So I use that as a template to cover the principles that they talk about in that book, but then give people an experience. And every one of the modules will talk about one of the principles and then how it can be used specifically for abundance, because that's an area that people are extremely interested in. So that's how the package came to be, and it's based on ancient mystic wisdom, which never goes out of style.
Well, it's the basis of the crystalline consciousness that was our original Earth and our original template. And so we're going to dive into that. Lots of stories here as well. People having all sorts of, shifts and blessings and possibilities as this energy is lifted or as the infiltration in people's lives is removed. I want to ask about the quantum abundance, because one of the parts of the keys to infinity is right there at the top of the page is quantum abundance. It's all about having that quantum abundance reset and interfacing with reality in a new way. Tell me about quantum abundance and how that fits into this, because you don't just tell people, hey, here's the idea. You initiate them in, which means you make sure that they have the energy space to embody this as much as possible.
Right. Well, each of the principles has an aspect, has a mechanism where you can tap into. You can use it for anything. Love, abundance is the one that I focus on for this package. And quantum meaning a leap. You're not just gradually tiny little baby step to get a little bit better. It's a quantum leap where you change your entire mindset and have a whole reset as to what abundance is like.
Yeah.
Where you're doing things that bring you joy, fulfillment. You have what you need whenever you need it. You have a surplus to help your family. That's what we're striving for.
Wow.
The more people that are like this, especially spiritual people, like the people that listen to your show, you want to be empowered. You want to have the abundance to be able to spread your wisdom and love to more people. If you're living in a monastery or in the middle of the Himalayas in a cave, you're not going to be able to affect as many people unless you already are an ascended master. So the objective is to have abundance here in the physical world, in the marketplace of of our world and be able to, to dole it out to people that need it, or like by doing things that you love to do, you're going to help other people do what they love to do as well.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this. I agree with that, because we have to initiate people into this way of being that has been lost because of the infiltration. So remember, I mean, the idea of lack, the idea of scarcity, the idea of limitation, these are all constructs that they're not part of our heritage. They are this infiltration, this false shadow, right? That wasn't part of the original earth or isn't part of our ascended essence. And this is what Edwin is not just going to share the ideas, he is initiating you energetically into this school of wisdom so that your body receives it. And I'm going to talk more about it, but I know a lot of people are asking about, oh, can I work with Ed? Yes, we've got one-on-one sessions just open. So if you want that and you want to be one of the first, it's one thing to talk about the ideas. It's one thing to go through a live class with Ed in a group, which we're going to talk about, and they're awesome. But once you have Edwin one-on-one, where he can see what is actually stopping you, that's always by far the most popular thing, and it's legendary here at you also. We have it in package B, but I want to talk about one thing that you're doing in January coming up, which is coming up rapidly. You're going to show people through 2 live calls how to actually prepare your field for the quantum abundance reset, and so that you can actually stabilize your frequency and you can actually have abundance, ascension, etc. open up in your field, and you can have the abundant reset. Tell us what's going to happen in this very special piece, and this is part of package A.
Right. We'll cover whatever's happening on Earth that's relevant to people that are affecting your spirituality and your ability to ascend to higher consciousness. We'll cover that briefly. We'll take questions from people. But the most important thing is we're going to bring you to give you the experience of what it's like to be in a self-realized, to be in a blissful state where you have everything you need whenever you need it. And the group calls that I do, we end up creating an egregore, which is a group consciousness. And by the end of the call, what I do with everyone is I let them know I'm going to mute everyone. You can stay logged in overnight, however long you want, and you're going to be able to tap in. You can connect with your own higher self. Some of my spiritual team may tune into you and help you out as well. But this egregore that we create with everyone's love and participation in the group call, it's going to carry over, and people will stay logged in. They'll stay on overnight. In the morning, I'll wake up and there'll still be people online.
This lady, Natasha, wrote in, said, group calls leads to an immediate resolution of money issues, truly a miracle. Immediately after I was done, it felt safe to contact him. This was clearing you did of a spouse of some heavy negative disturbance. And she said, like a miracle, the money issue had gone on for a couple of weeks, was resolved. Instant abundance flow after a group session, profound shift. So, we've shared some of the ideas, but what happens is you want to be initiated into the energy and reframe your energy body, your nervous system, to actually hold that consciousness, and perhaps maybe even more importantly, to reactivate that DNA remembrance that you have of what it was like in that infinite unified consciousness, that law of oneness consciousness, that this energy was all about, that these principles were all about. And that's why we said Lemuria, Atlantis, Egypt, collapse, up through Hawaii, up through Mount Shasta. Here we are again. Edwin is live in Hawaii. The serendipities of the crystalline age are here. And I want to just make note, you're going to go through the keys to infinity. We got all sorts of stories of people having shifts, but I want to jump really quick, and everyone, you can follow these. These are not just the information. These are the initiation energies where Edwin opens the field for you. And so I want to share really quick, Ed, what you're doing one-on-one with people, because I know a lot of people have an incredible story from working with you privately. You're going to be doing these 25-minute private sessions. We've just opened them up. I was climbing on last night, Ed, and I was like, I want to let people know about something cool going on. And I was like, oh my gosh, why are they ordering Ed's package? And it was last night. And I realized that our team had put the page up last night, And they were
Right.
people actually watching and refreshing and going, I want to get in on those one-on-one sessions with Ed because I want him to look at me for 25 minutes and anything I've got going on that I got a question with, he's going to help, look at and work what he can do. And so package B is there and people have been grabbing it. So tell us about that. What's a session like with you and what would you share about it?
Right. Well, if the person has a specific issue that they want to address, then I ask them, front load me, tell me what it is that you're dealing with. You have a relationship problem, you have a career issue, whatever it is, let me know in advance. But then we go through systematically every aspect of your life, of your being, not your life. Uh, Emotional body, clear it. Mental body, clear it. Spiritual body, clear it. Go back to when you were a kid. A lot of kids have issues that are affecting them even as adults. In the most extreme cases, if they have a hard uh, enough trauma as a kid, sometimes there'll be an entity that's embedded in when they were a young kid. And so I have to go in to look at the kid and then clear out the entity, which happens from time to time. It's not super prevalent, but when it does happen, it affects people. And it's very hard to see that in the adult version of the person. But when we go back to when they're a kid, if there is any issue like that, we get rid of it. And again, that will help all aspects of your life.
So you go
So,
through things like clearing blockages in the 12 energy centers, activating pineal and pituitary glands. Tell me about some of these. Expansion of the aura.
yeah, well, the aura automatically expands when you're filled with this higher vibrational energy. Your aura is the interference pattern between your own inner being and the surrounding area. So when your own inner being is flush with positive energy, your aura is going to expand. It might be typically 18 inches from your body, the clairvoyants can see, but after we're done, it'll be several feet. You'll be able to, again, having this expanded aura, will affect the people in your family and surrounding friends, whoever you run into.
And this is important from how we've kind of been sharing this is that when the aura is increased and strengthened, you embody this consciousness that does not have that infiltration because the infiltration is the lie. Like the infiltration is uh the illusion of being separate from everything. It's the illusion of not being able to create, not being able to manifest, not being able to be in your power. It's all a big lie. And so we want to get the aura expanded and holding the frame and the field so that we can embody that higher consciousness and the wisdom of these principles. So that's pretty awesome stuff. The other thing I want to ask you about on the one-on-ones, and I've done these and many people have, you're going to be purging things like fears, traumas, pains from the current and past lives, as well as from your DNA. A lot of people think about the now and energies now, but a lot of this is subconscious. A lot of this is past life. Are you seeing a lot of past life energy these days coming up, or have people cleared most of that? I mean, my feeling is there's still a lot of that, but is that true? What's going on with past
Yeah,
lives these
well, I
days?
mean, there is, that does affect, that's one of the aspects that I do towards the end, after I clear the childhood and reconnect with the child, the young version, the adult version, and the higher self, and remind you all we're the same being. After I do that, then we look at other lifetimes, past lives, future lives, higher and lower
Mm.
density versions of you. And there's almost always trauma, anguish, sadness, anger, all different emotions. And what I do to speed things up is I'll bring in Kuan Yin as one of the masters that helps me. She's especially good at getting rid of sadness. So I just infuse these other lifetimes with her energy, and it like makes everything bubble up, and then I can easily scoop away the negativity. Once that negativity is scooped away, then I invite all these different aspects of the person, all their lifetimes, to come together along with their higher self and do the same thing. We're all part of the same being, complete, whole, fully integrated, no distinction between any part of you. And so the person's now in touch with their other aspects of themselves, and they start developing abilities that they had in other lifetimes that it's opened up a new possibility for them in this lifetime.
Wow, man. I mean, this is right in full circle with what we've been talking about and activating that DNA. This is amazing. So Guys, this
Yeah.
is open. I'm super excited about it. I'm just over the moon. Many of y'all know my story. I've done sessions with Ed whenever something goes wrong, or I just feel like something is affecting me. And you might say, "Oh, he's the host. You know, he talks to all these great people." You're the only one that does energy clearing on me, man. I mean, I have access to probably 1,000 people that I could call on.
Right.
And the only one that's gone that I said, okay, go in and take a look at what's going on with me, my wife, my family, is you. I've had other things like, okay, I'll listen to a track on abundance or something to,
Darius, can
yes.
I got
Yeah.
on the program late, and I'm sorry. You've had a lot of wonderful things, and I'm so sorry. I wanted to work with Edwin. I really need him to
Okay,
work with
well,
me.
here's what we can do.
Okay.
We can do if you let us finish out, one thing we'll do is towards the end of the call in like 10 minutes or so or 5 minutes, we can unmute you and I'll keep you here and then we can do that. Would that be okay?
Yeah, if you can
Okay,
unmute me and do that, I would
I got
greatly
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
I
I
just
got
got your
Doll
email.
7. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Okay, Doll. Well, I got you here. What was your first name?
My name is Dolores, but I go by D. Everybody
Okay,
calls me
Doris.
D.
Yeah.
Well,
Dolores.
I got
Yeah.
you here, and we'll
D.
wrap up quick. I got her here, so we're gonna grab her, or we'll just tell her unmute. She's right there. I see you. So I want to say just real quick, I've done a session with you, and you're the guy that does my clearing for my wife, kids, and house. And people know the story. The first time you did this for me, I felt high energy. I've always been a high energy active guy, but my wife and my kids and I, my boys were like probably 3, and we danced for an hour outside my office just in joy, like just absolute like unification energy. It was unbelievable. And then the next day I remember going somewhere, walking around like a little town, and everybody was looking at me like my energy was just off the charts. People were introducing themselves. It was literally like I was just at another vibration and everybody was drawn to me. I couldn't stop having people talk to me, and I had little kids running around. I was like, hey, it was one of the most profound experiences I've had on the earth. I've had the outer body experiences and all of that, but this was just like embodying that energy. It was amazing. So if you've not done a session with that, or you need to get a something moved out of your spot, like Doll or Doris, which we are going to help a little bit here today, check it out. It's package B. And I know a lot of people are super excited about this. So I want to serve all of you. Without y'all, there is no show. But I'm just going to say, to support Ed's work, check out what's going on. We got story upon story here. The other thing you're doing that is super valuable, and it's going to start in January, 30 days of remote energy work. Okay. So if you want to start the new year off and you want to make sure that everything sticks, or you've got plans and dreams, and you want to embody that consciousness, that quantum abundance, tell us about the 30 days of energy work.
Yeah. The 30 days every morning around 8 a.m. my time, which is around 7 a.m. Pacific time. I take everyone in the group, everyone who's registered, clear them out. Same thing we do here. Clear out their emotional bodies, clear out their mental bodies, clear out their uh, higher spiritual bodies. Take everyone to a very high place, and then I'll bring in one of the masters, sometimes different ones, to to not only uh, do everything I can and my spiritual team can, but then we'll get the added benefit of having an ascended master flush
Mm.
you with his or her energy. So that's the most popular thing that I offer now. After someone has gotten a private session with me, then the one thing they go for is the 30 days remote program, and it's
Well,
part of this package. Yeah.
you're including it free, which normally would be a fee. So just know
Mhm.
you're getting this for free.
It's a
If
deal. It's a
if you
deal.
get package B, which you get time with Ed, you get everything on the page. Your monthly remote energy work is amazing. I love my life now. Daily remote healing work is shifting everyone up to love, joy, and happiness. Wow. Another person, remote energy work has lifted me into childlike joy and giddiness. Well, that was what happened to me with the session, and it faded a little bit. So I probably should have stayed in the remote group. You even have healers from our show that are in this group. You see their names, we talk about it, and I'm like, that's great. If you can lift up anybody who's doing light work, that's important. Remote healing work cleared the devastating effects of black magic and led me to find the love of my life. What happened with Rob here? I don't know this story. I don't know if you remember it, but this is
Uh,
pretty cool.
yeah, I think it was a Ravi. I think it's a woman
Ravi, yeah.
who just a natural thing. she was ready to meet the love of her life, and clearing all the obstacles out of the way, it just happened. Bam. So that's what I mean by quantum. It's like a quantum leap. You don't have to, it's not gradual. Oh, maybe I'll meet someone next week and maybe in 2 weeks. No, if you get everything cleaned out of the way, then bam, you can jump to that higher level and live at this higher place.
Quantum abundance. The Lemurians had it. They understood it. They understood everything was connected. This wisdom is coming full circle. We've threaded the needle. Edwin is in Hawaii. There's no accidents. We're bringing forward the principles and the energy containers that they were working with that were lost, but then brought over to ancient Chlem, Egypt, and now we're here. And Edwin is going to be holding the container for everybody and stopping the distortion. So, guys, this is just a huge thing. I'm going to get to Doris. I know she's excited, but I want to also just make note. It's at uwealthrevolution.com. There's also a lot of other things we got to cover. So, Doris, give us like 5 minutes. You're going to get a private group membership. You're also going to get a crown chakra activation between now and Sunday at midnight. And we didn't even get through the actual package A pieces that are the keys to infinity. So Edwin is going to initiate you into this and things like the principle of mentalism, but you're not just going to know that. You're going to be working with their vibration so they actually embody it. Like I could tell y'all, hey, everything is energy, so think positive. And you're like, okay, I've been trying that for 30 years. But you're going to actually raise their vibration to each of the keys to infinity. So explain a little bit about what that really means. And then we'll get to Doris.
Right. Each of these principles is on its own. It's more than just a theory. It's what the mystics have used for centuries.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to do more than do that. I'm going to take the principle, explain it briefly, and then apply it, especially for your abundance. So you're going to live and embody the feeling, the entire essence of being abundant based on the particular principle in the package.
Wow.
So, and that's what mysticism is. It's a spiritual discipline aimed at direct communion with God or the all or the one. It's not just, there's theory connected to it. It helps to know what the theory is and what's going on, the laws of the universe. But it's an experiential thing. And that's what I'm focused on, giving people an experience. And you can have the experience just from these MP3s, and especially when you talk to me directly and one-on-one.
And a lot of folks, Ed, they hear things like raise your frequency, raise your outcome, and they try and they can't. And they go, well, geez, I'm just destined to have a very challenged life. But maybe there's a curse affecting you. And this is what happened with Hannah. Like she probably heard, raise your vibration, raise your life or whatever, but with a curse. And I know, because I've had it, you can't hold your vibration high. And so these are designed to lift you out of the level that you've been at where these things do not actually open up the higher dimension. So think of Ed as kind of like he's clearing the way. So now all this stuff starts to work. So if you've done energy healing work or you've been working on something or you worked with another great teacher, if you have a curse and that's not cleared, it's going to be harder for that stuff to work. And I mean, that's why if I feel like I got a curse, I text you immediately. I'm like, hey man, something's going on and it's just messing with me. And you go in and I can go like, yep, I feel different. I feel lighter. I feel happy. I feel like this wellspring of joy. I feel the Christ consciousness in me just welling out. I feel like, and that's it. Edwin, you're the guy, you're the man. So you're the only one I call. So don't go anywhere. And if you do go somewhere, connect to me telepathically if you're on the other side, and then we can do it that way. But don't leave me, man.
Yeah, we'll make sure you remain blessed.
I love it.
It's funny, you brought up one thing when you mentioned Lemurian Atlantis. One of the things I do after I clear everyone's past lives is I check to see if there's any contamination of your higher self, which is an unusual prospect, but it only affects those who have been around from the days of Atlantis. Because Atlantis.
Whoa, you've been doing that for years too.
Yeah,
that you are the first only person I've ever heard of doing that.
Right. And when I explain to people, if you envision a well with the water level representing the level of consciousness,
Yeah.
Back in the days of Atlantis, the level was much higher, but then now it's much lower. Now we're going back up again. But when your consciousness is rising, it's in that well that was contaminated from what happened in Atlantis. And so you're getting problems. You're getting manipulations and distortions of connections with your higher self because of what happened in Atlantis. And about, I would say, over half of the people that come to me have that kind of distortion. But once you clear it, it's clear forever. Well, not forever, for thousands of years going into the future, because this happened from 10,000 years ago. And so you're going to have a better connection with your higher self than you've had for thousands of years. So that's another important aspect when you talk about Lemuria and Atlantis. This is something that happened in Atlantis that we can correct.
Well, just one final point, and then I'm going to get to Doris, but they infiltrated this unity consciousness, and that was a way that they were able to do that. And by infiltrating it, so what's interesting is in Lemuria, they basically physically attacked, right? And they would physically attack the Lemurians. The Atlanteans now had a knowledge of this, and so they attacked the consciousness of Atlantis. They corrupted it, and it seems very logical that they would go after the higher self connection, because it was kind of like the enemy within is almost more daunting than the enemy on outside, because you can see the enemy outside. And this is where we are now. We're now in that energy where it's now kind of like a subversive game. It's the voice in our head. It's the disconnection from our higher self. It's the feeling, of poverty, of not being able to move forward. So 100%. And you've been doing this for a very long time. So we've threaded the needle here, guys. This is just amazing. I can't say enough. We've opened the door to something pretty profound. It's time now. So check it out, uwealthrevolution.com/Edwin30. And let's get to Doris, and then we're going to send everybody off in love. Doris, I know you're ready. I'm going to unmute your line. Sorry for taking so long. Thank you for your patience. See if Doris is there. Oh gosh, hope she's there.
Well, whether she's there or not,
Oh, there she is.
There
She's here.
Okay.
I got it. I'm not going to let you go, Doris. I got you. I got you.
How are you feeling now, Doris?
Doris, you there?
Dolores or Doris?
Doris. Doris, hit unmute one more time. I may have accidentally clicked you and muted you by accident. There we go. Okay. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep.
We sure can.
I have an entity, and I believe it's black magic. They're stealing things from me: food, clothing, jewelry, you name it. It's been taken from me, and I know it's a person that's doing black magic, and I'm
Do you
doing
happen to know who that
everything.
person is? Do you happen to know who it is?
I think his first name is John, but I do not remember his last name. I never dated
That's all
him.
we need. Right. Let's just find him. Yeah, he's already upset because we took away his power. When you first started talking to Darius, I saw you had entities on you, so I took those away, and now I'm looking specifically for John. Normally, I would get rid of the 3 magicians responsible for the curse. I don't have to necessarily know who they are, but since you told me his first name is John, I could go in to see him and see if he was one that already had been tied up, and yes, he is. So you were right. He's not going to bug you anymore. How do you feel now, Doris?
Well, I feel I can't say I feel any certain way. I'm just aware of things.
Right. Okay. This is an example. You missed the earlier part of our show. You've had such hardship for how could be years. I'm not sure how long it's been. And so you naturally think back to those hardships and what your life was like under the hardship. Well, there's a reason you had all this hardship, because you were cursed. Now there's a reason you won't have it going forward. So we're going to clear out your mental body as well, so you don't go back to looking and thinking about the things, all the problems that you used to have. Instead, focus in the present, make a better future. Your whole life is different now.
And Ed, can you infuse some joy? I know.
Let's give you some more joy, Doris. Give you absolute, unconditional, infinite, divine
Dolores.
love.
Yep.
Okay, how does that feel?
I feel the energy.
Good.
Right, perfect.
Good.
So, but this is the caution. Don't go back to thinking about the old problems you used to have. Yes, they're real. Yes, you could give me 10 different things that went wrong in your life if you wanted to, but that's not helpful to you. So the only thing that's helpful is staying in the present to make a better future.
Mm.
So that's important for everyone. Whenever you get cleared out, don't go back to old problems. Focus in the
Right.
present, make a better future. And now everything's going to be better for your future.
Yeah.
Just in these
Thank you.
few minutes.
If Edwin says he's tied up, trust me,
Yeah.
he's tied up. He's not going to do
He's not
nothing.
going to be bugging you.
Wow.
Good.
Wow. Oh,
Yeah, that was you brought up a funny story when you were talking
sending
earlier,
you love,
Darius.
Doris. Thank you.
Yeah, sending you
Wow.
more love. The
Yeah, we'll
woman
keep
who came,
infusing you joy.
yeah,
Yeah.
a woman came to me and was had a problem similar to Doris, and I cleared her out. And she was telling me about this guy that her workplace was tormenting her. He would always try to get her goat. And then she said we went to this big meeting, and the guy was cowering from me. He wouldn't even come near me. He couldn't even stay in the same room as me. He was afraid of my energy now after she got cleared out. So those are the kind of things that are possible when you got your energy back high again.
We're getting, thank you for that. And thank you for helping Doris. We're getting a question here, and I want to close the call on this. A very interesting question from our listener, Lydia. She said, how can we remember if our soul was in Atlantis or Lemuria? And I had spirit kind of tell me that if you're on a call like this, if you're on communities like this, versus think of the mass of people out in the world that aren't, and you're drawn to this, chances are you probably have some aspect of yourself. Like there's your soul, but there's also lifetimes, there's parallel lifetimes, there's aspects, there's fragments, etc. What do you say about that? Because for a lot of people, just reclaiming this wisdom is going to create a quantum shift, like many multiples, and abundance is the area we're focusing on today. And so it'd be super cool if people start reclaiming that wisdom they had in those lifetimes.
Yeah, you may start remembering past lives or lifetimes in other civilizations, things like that. But even if you don't, it's not important. Like the Sufis, which are the mystical sect kind of associated with Islam, it predated Islam, but the Sufis are another group of mystics, and they discourage anyone from looking at past lives because they don't want you, oh, I was so famous, I was this famous person. They don't want any of that nonsense. They want you focusing in the present, connecting with God consciousness, and moving forward. So in that sense, I agree with that philosophy. But at the same time, I mean, I've come to understand quite a few of my own lifetimes, and usually it's by the people that I'm interacting with. I'll see something and I have a familiarity with that person, and I'll ask, how do I know this person? And sometimes the team will tell me, he was, you were in the same army, whatever, and this is what happened, and that's the reason why you have this obligation to try to help him now, because he saved your life in a battle. So there's things like that. They add a little layer of dimension to your life, but it's not important. It's not critical. The important thing is focusing in the present, connecting with the all that is, with your own highest self, and bringing that love and wisdom to earth. So, yeah, I'm not the expert at helping other people do it. Occasionally, I come across something where it'll be obvious, and I'll share it with the person. Like a guy, I said, I was clearing them, and I just said, I don't know why this is coming to me, but I see you like in the Wild West, uh, playing cards, and that's all I see. And he goes, well, that explains it. I said, what? Explains I have a fear of gambling because that was it. He got shot
Yeah,
playing
playing
cards
cards in the Wild
in
West.
the Wild West, and so that was an instant. But I can't do that all the time. That's not my strength.
Yeah.
It's getting people with connecting with their own higher self. That's what I can guarantee I can do.
Wow. Well, I agree. I think personally, if we are drawn to talks like this, I think we had a past life, or we had a part that has all this wisdom, and we're going to reconnect people to that infinity. And this is what Edwin is doing. And this is unveiling secrets to quantum manifestation that so many throughout history have tried to hide. And we've exposed the keys here. And even more so, Edwin is going to be holding the energy for you to embody the keys and get out of those distortion patterns. It's called Keys to Infinity Quantum Abundance Reset. And, many of you said, abundance is a big thing, but abundance is not just money. Abundance is being able to live in your highest spiritual truth and have access to anything you want. And it could be manifesting a trip. It could be manifesting love. It could be manifesting joy, manifesting possibilities or opportunities or different choices and not feeling trapped. It could be just manifesting the free time to dictate what you want to do with your life or ponder that, right? Manifestation of abundance is multifaceted. And so another trick is that it's just about money, and it's not. It's about controlling the universe through these keys of infinity that control all matter. And this is really the deeper story here. So check it out, Ed. I love you as the one to kind of open us and initiate this in the process, man. You've been just a top-notch human being and someone I trust, and just a good soul. So these are very powerful principles. I wouldn't trust them with some people that, you know, would be manipulative, but you have been just a true blue gem. And everyone, if y'all love Ed and you appreciate him and you've seen how good he is as a person and honest, just send some love. I want to hear some stories because I know a lot of people love Ed and appreciate him. You're one of the true blue souls on this planet. So I'm so glad you're doing this. We need this. Good part of humanity needs this wisdom. So yeah, getting a lot of hearts here, man. So any final thoughts or messages of love, Ed, from everyone? And we'll let you go back to Hawaii and modern Lemuria and work some energy for us in the other parts of the world that aren't so 5D as where you're at.
Right. No, everything is moving up. I can just help you get there faster. So that's what I would just like to offer.
All right. Well, check it out, everyone. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/Edwin Spina. The keys to infinity plus one-on-one time with Ed is now open. And I know many of y'all have been waiting for this. We love you. We honor you. I'm going to just send everybody off in love and say thank you for the session and thank you for being here. If we didn't call on you, go back through the process. You matter. You have this wisdom inside of you. We're going to raise the frequency so you can embody it and live it and vibrate through it and create from it the quantum abundance you want. And that's access to everything, not just like one little sliver. It's the ability to actually bring this crystalline consciousness into whatever you want and make it happen. And Ed is a huge way to open that door. So we'll see you soon, everyone. Thank you so much, Ed. And I'm going to leave Cheryl and Diane on because I know a lot of people are going deeper. And thanks everyone for the kind comments, Ed. And thank you.
Thank you. My blessing, infinite blessings to everyone.
All right. We love y'all. Check it out. uwealthrevolution.com/Edwin30. And we'll see you soon. Man, time went fast on this one. All right. We love you guys. Hang in there. Sending y'all love.
Why is she there? How does this work? Oh.